call me gold mouth, that's what I said.
Goldmouth Gamer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. This video represents the culmination of the spring practice videos previously posted. To learn more about my Dynasty, follow my Dynasty on Operation Sports. The link is found below. I will also post a highlight video of this spring game with some of the best plays from the game. If you enjoy my content, like, and subscribe. Enjoy the game.
Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Washington Redskins and the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Saints from their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
On second down, here's Hill. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming out of that. Just looked problematic hitting as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Out comes a Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession.
Hurry up, here we go!
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I'm going to call tippy toes if that one was completed. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
looking to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll look to throw here. His pass caught at the 4. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let him get anywhere. It made him kick a field goal. It almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks that I know, they're the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team. They tell them, that's on me, that's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Hill's hit, and he lost the football. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Not get free, made a big play.
So out now come the Redskins. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about it. They weren't happy about 3-point kicker. Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bash.
Super toe.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 4 on the play. And it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a handoff to Ingram. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this is going to be incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball in the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not give up 6.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This from 25 yards out. And his kick here is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. To throw is Hill. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Carter, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited about some of those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
3rd and 11. It's some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
A shotgun snap for Hill. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They're creating the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But let's not forget, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to. Establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. His throw incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Throw left side complete. It's Ingram. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just try to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The Redskins now, their defense coming back onto the field. And a big reason they have the lead right now is we see on the screen their 3 turnovers.
How about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off near the 32. And this one will be returned to run around the 38-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play call and help him out a little bit.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
They go play action here on 1st down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes in certain passing situations because they're not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
All right, here we go.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 30.
Ingram at tailback. He's got it running left. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field in the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Coming left, it's Ingram. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now let's go. Green 30.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He goes underneath to Ingram. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it's a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
On play action, they'll throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. First time that they call his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
That's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff there.
We talked about it, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. But winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game. But when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Now let's go. Green.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that will make our score 9-0. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. On second down now, Scott, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Hill on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lewis. Five yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range, that can be a little tricky. is Hill now on second down. Incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
All right, here we go.
Play fake. Hill. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
Green 39.
On first down, it's Hill. He's going to loft one deep left side. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already 24 goals.
Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if you're starting from the first half, you might throw anyone more for the game because they weren't going to pull it out. Nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make...
Set. Blue landing.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Hanging on together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Set. Blue landing. Blue landing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Set.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. Fighting through it. He's got space. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow, he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
If you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the first down marker.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They're going to look to throw. Fighting through pressure. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there.
Holding. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Back to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. It makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So on 4th down, the Redskins are called on Tressway to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's struggled. His team has struggled. You talk to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now it's Hill. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find the silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
On 2nd down, Scott. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit, because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now West lost the football. It's out into the Redskins. Have it they do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But hey, let's tip the cap to the defense.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to dock my cap to him. Congratulations, big time play. I'm not going to create something good for your team.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was called.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. On the carry, this is Scott. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down now, Scott. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun, here's Hill. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Over the middle, it's complete. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down.
It all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And now he'll tuck it and run. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That will go for 9 yards and a 1st down on the keeper. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll set up a throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Able to get away. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. Whistle. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
On 1st and 10, Hill throwing the slant pattern here complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. A final shot before break. Hill eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he floats one there, incomplete. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look to Brandon Garnet.
The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half.
Enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Defense.
The officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
On 1st and 10, here's Barrett. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Barrett will try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
Brand 38.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Barrett. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
Hindsight is 20/20, but maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
It almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And here come the Redskins now. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Let's go. What? 90.
And they'll go on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go. What? 90.
On 3rd down, Barrett firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Barrett. Flushed out right. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And that time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with third and just a couple.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And not much running room. Down to the 32. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down on the yard.
The scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This has neither the distance nor the accuracy. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. Savage now. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. A gain of 6 there on first.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On second down, Scott. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Here we go.
Savage from the 50. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play fake. Now Savage. He's going to float this one deep. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they retain their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is down to 2. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
319! 319!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
All right, here we go.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that'll be incomplete.
On the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Throw left side, complete. That's Griffin. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they would have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Center back gets hit.
To at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. Yes, you're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. Now Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Caught, right side, it's Lewis. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass.
Coming, that could have been recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
Gone!
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
Offense.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. They give him a gain of 38.
That's an excellent read right there. Soft over 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Scott, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go now.
Here's a play fake as they set up the throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. On play action, they'll throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunky yardage picked up there.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They win with 5 DB.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Extra point attempt here still to come. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Escapes the defender. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. He's going to go for a big play downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
Yeah, great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'd be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Floating one, incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. On 3rd down, that's Scott. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Even after the penalty, trailing in the 4th, they've still got to go. It's 4th and goal. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And instead of having a 1-score game, they'll remain 2 scores down. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 51 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Oh, look at the juke. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards on the run there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. And they'll go on the ground. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So with that miss, Charles, you have to figure their fate. It might be sealed.
Yeah, you needed 2 scores. So you take the field goal first and then worry about getting the ball back. But that may not matter now.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Lewis has the first down and then some. And all the way down to the 33-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and
First
now
down.
your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Set. Blue landed.
Now back to throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And
out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
no, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They have nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that the frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Detroit! Set! 3-19!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Now for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Garnet. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Lambeau, good night, everybody.
Call me Gold Mouth, that's what I said.
Goldmouth Gamer.